they reach 5 years on a job, their medical benefits are taken away from them. Now, when you're initially hired, you are told that your medical is for life. I'm speaking about this because it happened to me. I was retired out in 2012 from an inmate assault, defending another officer, and I was never told that my medical was taken away from me. About a year and a half later, I found out that they took my medical away from me. I've been fighting since 2012 to get an answer, to get have somebody give me some type of answer about what was going on. I have paperwork here, over 60 certified mails, return receipts to County Executive Astorino, the union, various elected officials, and no one had an answer for me. And the sad thing about it is that this happened to me in 2012. This is happening every day now in some agencies. Westchester County Department of Correction, don't quote me on this, I think it's 40-50% now of the officers are brought in that are working now have less than 5 years. Don't quote me on this number too. I think it's 2 to 3 officers, I think within the last 2 to 3 months, give or take, that were retired out before they reached their 5th year.
Well, it's one that's a definite, but we think 2 more will not be coming back, and they have less than 5 years on
now, and to be fair, I know that you don't hold the position, and you probably have never. Damon, he worked 27 years, and he's just hearing about it because of this case. So I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure you may not know anything about this, but I just wanted to specific on this case. But I just wanted you. Yeah, I wanted him to bring that up
because the reason why we're saying it because it's real big with correction officers with this issue, and if the county government is really not being responsive to the needs of officers that actually put their life on the line. Correction officers shouldn't be no different than police officers. Our job, people just they just don't see what we do.
But this 5-year clause is for all officers, am I
correct?
Well,
all county officers.
It's all county now.
Now, I don't know the specifics of it. One of the things that I would want to look into, and if you've had other people look into this, and we can talk offline, I'll give you my information, we'll talk. My assumption is that there is no current contract in place for COBA, because all of these unions have not had updated contracts negotiated and approved by the county executive.
No,
and that they're 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 years behind. So my first question would be, and I'd have to research this, is that provision built into the prior contract, and is that just being extended, or is that
no, sir? It's a county policy? It's a county policy.
Right, so it means it could be changed by the county if the county wanted to change it.
I thought so.
And my sense is, built off of what you've just said, is that we've got, in general, not just in corrections as you're describing it, but we've got a very demoralized county workforce over the last few years, because the general sense is that the leadership of the county does not have the people who work for the counties back on these things. Right. And if you are out there in any job you could, in theory, lose your life. But if you're a police officer, correction officer, there isn't a fire component, but a fire officer, these are jobs where you use your physicality up while you're performing them. That's why you retire younger and earlier. Right. It's not like me being some sort of white-collar executive and I make it all the way to 65. And the chance of physical injury, damage, or death to you is much, much higher in those positions. Yes. So they should be treated in a different fashion. As a principle, what you described to me is abhorrent, that there would be a way to deny you medical benefits that came because you were doing your job at the time of your job. Exactly. But I'd have to look into understanding what the policy was, and then, in theory, change it were I to be county executive. I don't want to go too far until I know more about it. But I'm willing to have further dialogue offline so you can help me understand it. Definitely. And depending on who you've had work on these kinds of things, But I do know, where I grew up, I had friends of mine who went into police work, and I have, relatives in my family who were police officers, long gone now. And the danger factor and correction in those jobs is much, much higher. And there are provisions that I would look for police, fire, correction that I might not look for in other circumstances because of the danger attached to the job. And it to me seems just unfair that you wouldn't be able to claim injury coverage, medical coverage, when you receive those injuries or that medical problem because you were doing your job
Right.
on behalf of the people of this county.
That's
in
right.
principle, that seems wrong.
Yes.
So,
Okay, we'll vote him in.
I don't think it's going to be that easy, honey.
It was not easy.
We'll vote
You
him
have
in.
no idea how much these guys are struggling here with this.
You know, I'd like to raise something. You know, prior to